You have a father like that, you have the surname, Kluivert. A lot of people expect something of you as a young kid already. At 9 years old maybe, they think you're gonna be the next one. And I had in my head, oh wait, I will show you on the pitch, I will show you.
And now Kluivert into the net, back into Kluivert! Watara! But for the hat-trick, it's in! Kluivert, straight down Yo with a cutback. Kluivert shot into the bottom corner! Oh, Kluivert! Into the second half. It's Kluivert, it's 1-1. They keep Bournemouth at bay.
Sometimes your name's on the scoreboard before you even step onto the field. People crown you a hero before you've touched the ball. This may seem like a huge advantage, but it's also a heavy weight. The burden of a star father's child who has to be a star. Justin Kluivert, a kid born into football, the son of a legend. But this story is not actually a completed success story. This is a football player's journey to prove himself, starting in the shadow of his father. It might never be a traditional success story. Maybe it will never turn into a success story. But Justin drawing his own path, never choosing the easy way and never giving up, maybe it won't make him a star like his father, but it will always make him special. This is the story of a journey that starts with burdens, sometimes with broken hopes, but in the end, the story of becoming yourself. Justin joined Ajax's youth academy at 8. His father had also made his name at the same club in the same jersey. His father, Patrick Kluivert, brought Ajax the Champions League title with a goal at age 18. He was the youngest player to do it. That season, they went undefeated in the league. Kluivert also finished the season as the league's top scorer. Patrick Kluivert quickly became a legend at Ajax. But what would his son do? Ajax started highlighting him early. He made it to the first team at a young age. In 2017, at age 17, he played his first professional match. In 2018, he scored a hat-trick in the Dutch Cup and caught Europe's attention. But there was something else behind those goals. Being compared to his father in every position. He's not like him, they said. He didn't get his father's speed, some even said. But he just wanted to play football. In the summer of 2018, Roma transferred Justin for 17 million euros. His father wanted him to stay at Ajax. At that time, Ajax was like a footballer development factory. They found young players, developed them, and then sold them to Europe's top clubs for big fees. The eyes of Europe were always on Ajax's squad. For Ajax players, it was both a huge opportunity and a huge pressure. Their dream was to play for Europe's giants. But what if they went and ended up stuck on the bench? What if they were crushed under the weight of those huge transfer fees and got booed? These things terrified young players so much that it was almost like a nightmare. That's why leaving Ajax at the right time, developing yourself and becoming a real star before leaving, was one of the biggest tests for young talents. This was also Justin's biggest test. At just 19, he got an offer from Italian giant Roma. His father said it was too early to leave and didn't want him to go, but he was going to draw his own path. He accepted the transfer to Roma and started a new challenge. Roma fans thought he would be given Totti's number 10 jersey, but he took number 34. The number had a special meaning during his time at Roma. He chose it in tribute to his former Ajax teammate Abdelhak Nouri. Nouri had a heart attack during a match in 2017 and fell into a coma. For Justin, this number was a symbol that reminded him football wasn't just about success. It was about friendship and loyalty too. In his first match, he came on as a substitute for Cengiz Ünder and set up the winning goal by sending the ball to Dzeko in the 89th minute. Roma fans thought they had found their new star. Now all they wanted was for Justin to secure a spot in the starting 11 and lead Roma back into the title race. But things didn't continue the way they started. In his first season, he played more than 30 matches but scored only one goal. Things weren't going as he had dreamed. Over time, he ended up stuck on the bench. It wasn't easy to play for a high-pressure club like Roma at such a young age. He started to lose his confidence. In 2020, he was loaned to Leipzig. German discipline, fast-paced football. Leipzig was different from Roma. It did not have a deep-rooted history like Roma, and it didn't have the same intense fan pressure either. It seemed like the ideal place for Justin to shine. Here he could do what he couldn't in Roma and get back on the radar of Europe's top clubs. He started his career at Leipzig well. He was in the starting 11 against Bayern Munich. When the team was trailing 2-1, Justin scored the equalizer. It was a dream start to his career in Germany, but the dream would turn into a nightmare. Once again, he was stuck on the bench. He couldn't maintain consistency. Before the season ended, the club decided not to activate the purchase option. Then came Nice. He felt more comfortable in France. He had nothing left to lose. Either he would disappear as a lost talent in his father's shadow, or he would draw his own path that no one believed in. At Nice, he started getting regular playing time. He finally found the consistency he hadn't had in a long time. He made a big contribution to Nice qualifying for the Europa League. But this place wouldn't be enough for him either. He needed to prove himself, to become a star. The next stop? Valencia. Valencia was a huge opportunity for him to write a success story. Valencia, which had won the Champions League and La Liga, was far from its old days. It had become a team at the bottom of La Liga, fighting to stay in the league. Justin could be the star here, the player who brought Valencia back to their glory days. But this journey didn't go the way he hoped either. He scored 6 goals and made 3 assists in 30 matches. He helped keep Valencia in the league. But it wasn't the breakout he had dreamed of. The fans really liked Justin, but due to financial reasons, the club didn't buy him. At every team, he stayed for just 1 season. Every season people said, this will be his breakout year. But he was still searching for his identity. He would put on the jersey, look at himself in the locker room mirror and say, who am I? In 2023, he stepped into the Premier League, wearing the Bournemouth jersey. This time, no one introduced him as a rising star. This was a chance. A small team, a big league. He was no longer just playing on the wing, but sometimes as a number 10. He started creating space for himself. Now he wasn't his father's son. He was just Justin. He was making mistakes, but he was learning. He was getting less attention, but playing more freely. But this new beginning in England wasn't easy. In 2023, during a robbery at his home in Spain, his girlfriend Shana Taihutu was attacked and injured. Justin was in England at the time, but the incident had a deep impact on his personal life. He kept appearing strong on the field, but behind the scenes, he was facing a breakdown. But his return to the pitch after that showed his character. He trained harder, stayed quiet, but spoke on the field. Every goal he scored in a Bournemouth shirt was like a rebirth. Maybe for the first time, he was telling his own story, in his own voice. He scored his first goal in an away match against Sheffield United. Although his first season did not start well, he finished it with 9 goals and 2 assists. But something was about to change in the new season. The season everyone had been waiting and hoping for Justin had finally come. In his second season, he was now the star of the team. His hat trick against Wolverhampton turned all eyes on him. Everyone was wondering if this was just another moment of brilliance like the ones before. But this time, it wasn't. He kept playing well with consistency. With another hat trick against Newcastle, he proved it. This breakout also earned him a spot on the national team. It was a huge turning point. One of his dreams had come true. He was now a serious contender for the Netherlands starting 11. As fate would have it, his first national team match would be against his biggest idol, Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal. In football, there are moments that leave permanent marks on a player's career. For Justin Kluivert, one of those moments was playing against Cristiano Ronaldo, his childhood idol. From a young age, Justin admired Ronaldo's work ethic on the pitch and his generosity off the pitch. In an interview, he once said, "He doesn't just think about himself, he thinks about others too. He does a lot for charity and is truly committed to his life as a footballer. That's something I want to learn from and do too." Sharing the pitch with his idol was an incredible thrill for Justin. After the match, he swapped shirts with Ronaldo. For him, this wasn't just an exchange. It was a symbol of the special bond he had with someone he'd looked up to for years. That moment became an unforgettable milestone in his professional journey and inspired him even more. After everything he'd been through, it was no surprise that Justin was back on the radar of Europe's top clubs. The years he spent at Roma, Leipzig, and Nice had taught him a lot. The consistency he found with Bournemouth brought his potential back to the surface. This time, the rumors echoed in a different tone than in the past. Now his name was being linked with Arsenal, Newcastle United, even Roma again. But this time the difference was this. Justin was no longer just a potential, but a character shaped by struggle. He showed that he was ready to play at the top level again, but unlike before, he didn't want to make a quick decision. This time he was calmer, more aware, because now he wasn't just carrying a last name, he was carrying his own name. Maybe Justin Kluivert will never win the Ballon d'Or, Maybe he'll never play in a Champions League final like his dad, but he is writing his name with his own footsteps. And maybe the most powerful stories are written just like this. Speaking in your own voice, being known for your own game, while carrying your last name, adding your own color to it.